This week we're talking about music. I grew up in a very strict religious home and I'm a first-generation American. That means that in my house it was either religious music on behalf of my mom or very typical Dominican music that my dad used to play, merengue, bachata, things that I really don't listen to now anymore at all. The first time I had a concept of music outside of what I was so used to in my house was when my cousin moved down from New Jersey to live with us, and she was sent here because of bad behavior, and she brought with her a tape that was just the hallmark of rebellion in my house for a while. Like, it was the holy grail of doing bad things, and it was a Mariah Carey tape. And that was really the first sort of contact we had with outside music, outside the bubble that our little house created. From there, escalated, and before you know it, we were watching MTV, secretly of course. While my sisters leaned more towards hip-hop, R&B, and rap, I found myself gravitating more towards rock, the rock end of the spectrum. And that was just unheard of in my household. When I discovered Christian rock, it was like the life-changing event for me because I could play it not secretly, and it was the genre of music that I loved. And so that was a big chunk of like my middle school and early high school years, and somewhere in there I discovered other things, of course, and I remember really being into screamo for a while, and that really drove my mom nuts. She just did not understand what I was listening to, why I was listening to it. It was a good time. I might still rock a screamo song or two in my car, you never know. My best friend has a running joke whenever she gets in my car and listens to what I have playing. She says that I get all of my music from weirdshit.com. Don't actually go to weirdshit.com. I don't know what's there, but I'm pretty sure it's not music. Because of those weird growing up habits and the fact that we never really had an introduction to music outside of a very specific genre, I never got into the habit of listening to music on the radio or discovering music through more normal means. And the way that I find music now is just very organically, I guess, or atypical. If somebody says check this out, I will. If I hear a song on TV, I'll search for it. If things on YouTube I link, that link each other or recommend each other, I'll just follow trails. I have really great friends who humor me and recommend music all of the time because they know that I don't listen to radio or anything like that. So that's why it's also kind of gives me anxiety to say, oh, listen to this thing that I found, because I don't know if I'm saying listen to this thing I found that was hot 5 years ago and I'm just listening to it now. That all said, and like Sweeney mentioned, she and I went to Coachella last month, and that was an amazing experience, and I think a few of you said that it's kind of on your life bucket list, and I would recommend doing that. Sweeney, in your last video you asked me for my favorite sets from Coachella, and I think we share a lot of the same. Postal Service is definitely number one. Best set, like you said, they were just having such an amazing time on stage, and when you listen to songs that you know so well and you have a connection to, it just really adds to the performance, and they were having a good time and the audience was having a good time and everyone was singing along. It was just an amazing, amazing set. There were a couple of bands that I didn't know well, but I heard at Coachella and have now looked more into and discovered. One was Hot Chip, which they also gave an amazing show, and I've been listening to them a lot lately. And the other is Portugal the Man. Other hot items on my playlist right now: Lord, Hannah Georges, The Neighborhood, Bombay Bicycle Club, Isley, Sleigh Bells, Mother Mother. A lot of you mentioned on Sweeney's video that the things she mentioned were kind of over your head. I don't have a lot of hope for the things that I mentioned in my video, but feel free to let us know in the comments what's on your summer playlist. As always, if you have any topics you'd like us to cover, leave them in the comments. All right, guys, see ya.